Hello! In today's video, I built a realistic apartment interior in Bloxburg. Theoretically, it could be called a tutorial because I included most of the footage, so feel free to use this as a guide on how to make this apartment. Let's not waste another second. I started with the layout and you can probably tell that I put some effort into it as it took me 1 hour plus to make this layout. I apologize if my voice sounds weird, it's because my allergies kicked in a few days ago and I have a stuffy nose, I cough and all these things. This is the finished layout with an asterisk. I actually changed some things during building, so... And now the sped up speed build. Sped up speed build, wow. Anyway, I added a few hooks and shelves and a place to sit whenever you are taking off your shoes or whatever. My parents are sleeping, so I have to be quiet. The thing why I mentioned this, I wake up so early on the weekend, I don't know why. On a work day, I go to sleep at like 9 p.m. mostly and wake up at 6. Whenever it's weekend, I go to sleep at 10 and wake up at 5. Like, what the hell? You might be like, you're going to sleep so early, but I don't know. I'm glad that my parents set this sleep schedule and I just didn't change it, since you might be saying that this is weird, this is bad, or you might not care because they are here just for the apartment or the build. I told them more than one time, but my friend is always shocked when I say this. They go to sleep at midnight and wake up at 11 a.m. on weekends, so it just feels like a waste of time for me. That's just my opinion. Okay, so right now I'm building a closet or whatever should I call it, or a wardrobe, but I didn't like it afterwards as a result, so I think I deleted it. You might have noticed that I painted everything gray at the start. It was because I wanted to figure out the color scheme. My builds usually end up being white and this wood color. On top of that, I added a green color and a blue one, and I didn't use the institutional white color, but I used some, I don't know, similar to that. So yeah, I used the color wheel, which I think I use in every build. Honestly, this closet looks good, but it doesn't fit the style. And the drawer, I had some issues with it because the drawer, it was a cube and the cube was sticking out of the other side of the wall, so I couldn't use it everywhere. Not everywhere, but in some places. I tried to include decals right here, but it didn't really work out, so I didn't use them. The problem is, whenever I find a good decal that I could use in a build, it is blurry, so it has poor quality, or doesn't match the color scheme. Bloxburg offers the choice to repaint the decals to a specific color, but it's pretty hard when the color of the decal is slightly darker, because I don't think we can do anything with that. Like I told you before, I deleted this closet and replaced it with a new one, a custom one. I looked up a closet on Pinterest and I saw a closet that was like green. I think it looked like the IKEA style. Again, it didn't fit, but the only thing I had to change was the colors and materials. And I made these handles for it and I used it all over the whole build. They were so cool that I had to use them. I think it just adds more depth and a shadow so it looks realistic. Okay, I'll let this play and I'll talk more about the allergies. So on Wednesday, I had a pack of tissues in my pocket and there were like 2 left. And on the first lesson, I used 2 tissues already. So I ran out of tissues and I was like, okay, Emma, reach out to my bag and take more. I searched through the bag and there were none. Throughout the whole lesson, I was there and I was like, you know, this thing when you have a stuffy nose and you can't do anything about it. My classmate, which sits next to me most of the time and has a lot of tissues, just wasn't in school that day. So I had to ask another classmate if they have tissues, and luckily they had. But 2 hours later, I had a stuffy nose again and was doing the thing again. I don't know how to call it. So I asked a classmate behind me, and they had another one. And the classmate that was sitting next to me on that lesson, they had a stuffy nose too, and didn't have tissues as well. So we took the pack of tissues from the classmate behind us, and I stole like three because I had to use one and then two extras, so I had some to survive the whole day. I took 5 packs the next day. Okay, back to the build. I was making this plant, or I was making a plant for 30 minutes. Firstly, I wanted to use just a decal, but that didn't look right. I made a custom planter because you can't place anything on the ones that Bloxburg provides. For some reason, you can place just plants there, but not any other things, I think. Now I'm making a bench sort of thing, but I realized it was too small, so I restarted and made it taller. I added a green color, which played out pretty well, I think. In the end, the living room was where the green color was most used. I think that's why it looks so good, why I'm proud at it, and it's the reason why I chose it to be the thumbnail of the video and the intro as well. I think the colors and the materials I chose look nice together. I don't know if I mentioned it in the video tips how to make your interior more realistic, but the thing when you wanna make a realistic interior is do custom ceilings. Like, they're so good, they look good, and well, they don't look as plain. For the custom flooring, it depends what material you choose. If you use the wood planks material, which looks old, it won't look as realistic. It really depends on the detail and the shadows. I just joined Bloxburg, and yeah, they are really called wood planks. They are detailed, but they don't match the modern style I used in this apartment. Otherwise, it would look realistic in some other builds, but surely not this one. It would look out of place. Okay, that was a wardrobe, now I'm making a closet. I forgot to add a carpet, which made it look better. I think carpets save it because it looks more occupied when they are there. After that, I made temporary stairs so I could go up there and look at it. I wanted to say in real life, but you know what I mean. So I could walk up there with my avatar. I wanted to implement a built-in fridge. I didn't like it, but I noticed the new, I don't know if it's new, but for me it's new, a retro fridge and appliances. Hey, it's me 2 hours later. I moved to my parents' bedroom because my dad has a big monitor. Oh my god. And it's the only room where I can edit videos in peace. My mom made me a coffee, so thank you, mom. I know that she won't watch this ever. Oh my god, like, I'm getting used to this 4K monitor, you know? It's wide, it's big. No, because when I edit it on my laptop, the timeline seems too small, like it's too short, and then on this monitor it's too big and it feels uncomfortable to move around. Oh my god, I'm talking about other things, and then I make this custom door which I got inspired from the realistic apartment interior. That's from like 4 months ago. I forgot to mention something which you probably noticed already, but The apartment is floating. Okay, it's floating, right? So I wanted to have complete freedom when making the layout, because when you do an exterior, you can't change it afterwards when you are making the interior. So here I made the layout, then the interior, and if it is possible, make the exterior for it, which I made after completing this. I made it into a town, and I think it's fine. I think the finished result is over 20% of plot data, which is pretty cool. So that means I can make more interiors on this plot. The town isn't finished, like 5 buildings out of 30 have windows. I finished the buildings that can be seen from the living room of the apartment, but then I decided to make a decal, and I don't know if I think you could see that in the intro there was a view of Paris. Another advantage of doing the layout slash interior first is that I can use other windows and I'm not restricted to just one or two types. I don't think this would really work with a house. It does in a town because you could say that it's just another building. Oh my god, right now I have some background music going on, and this song, Electric Love, started playing, and I'm vibing to it like, what the hell? It feels so nostalgic for some reason, and it sounds like something you will use in a movie. Okay, back to the apartment for a minute. This style, like the entryway, is like modern, I'd say, and the kitchen, it reminds me of an European kitchen style, I don't know. I can't say if it matches, but it works, I guess. For the plates, like they are so cool. I'm sad that, oh my god, custom handles again, but I'm sad that the plates are just limited. There are no other types of these intricately designed plates. I just thought I created a new word there. For these limited plates, I know I have a bunch of them in my inventory because they look good. Back to the topic I was talking about before this. So, when I was building this apartment, decorating the apartment, I listened to some music. I normally listen to a playlist that I created, and there are a bunch of random songs. But now I listen to a station. I think it's called Feel Good Station on Apple Music. Well, there were some good songs, like wow. I had to skip some because there were some in my native language, which I don't listen to songs that are in my native language. And there's this one song that sounds really nostalgic. Just to let you know, I was on a call with my friend and I decided to play some music, and I showed her what to play, and she decided she wants to listen to the Feel Good Station. About that nostalgic song, it it felt like it was from my childhood. Like I heard it in my childhood, and well, childhood, not childhood, but when I was younger. The song was sung in English, and I discovered that the author is from the same country as I am. So I heard it on a radio before, probably. And yeah, now it's one of my favorite songs, and I was listening to it like 10 minutes ago. Wow. I don't like listening to songs that are sung in my native language, whatever the reason. I love nostalgic songs, or songs that feel nostalgic even if I haven't heard them ever before. Listening to them on a ride to school, looking out of the window, out of the public transport, and looking at the sunrise, it's a vibe. I think that you've already noticed that my videos are much longer than it used to be. It's because I mainly focused on describing the build when there wasn't much to talk about, then the videos were short, and now it's more like a freestyle voiceover. This video has almost 30 minutes, that's so long for me. So type down below if you prefer me describing the build or this freestyle voiceover, like I don't know, yapping and then sometimes mentioning something in the build, because I enjoy doing this more rather than describing the build. Or if you have something to share, you can type down as well. Not only I can get some feedback, but it will support my channel and the algorithm will recommend my videos to more people. Yay! And now I'm working on the living room. Most of the rooms were inspired by some pictures, because that's the best thing you can probably do. But there was definitely some improvisation going on. I just remembered something I forgot to mention, or I think at least I forgot to mention the wall trims. Well, I think that they were added in the last update, and I'm glad they did add this, but they are sometimes glitchy when you add them to a wall where there's a door, then they look pretty ugly above the door. And the other thing is that it hides the paintings, so I had to put every painting on a basic shape and then put it on the wall. I hope that it's possible to see every decal ID I put there. Otherwise, ask in the comments and I'll try to search through the footage and find the decal code. I have almost every footage of the build, but we are slightly running out of space in the cloud, so I'll have to remove some soon. The folder which I keep my bloxburg footage in takes up 40% of the whole storage we share with my family. Just the folder with footage of this realistic apartment interior takes up 50 gigabytes of storage, which is a lot. This being the build that I'm most proud at the time, I don't think I'll delete this anytime soon. It's a lot better than the realistic apartment I built a few months ago. But yeah, I can definitely say that I'm improving. I can say with confidence that I'm not the greatest. There are surely other builders that are far more better than me. I don't know, I'm unable to praise myself. No, I just remembered my first video, how I couldn't talk. Not that I couldn't talk, but I was slow and my pronunciation was pretty weird. Not saying it's any perfect now, but yeah, I just have to accept how I was born. I learn new things every single video I make, so if I keep pushing out videos, then maybe I'll get better at speaking, grammar and stuff. I believe that my vocabulary sucks and that I repeat a bunch of words like but, like, so, I don't know what else. I don't know as well, this, that. The list goes on and on. It's a problem whenever I speak freely, then I don't have a text from which I could notice the mistakes and repetitiveness of the words. I tend to repeat words, but hey, they don't think it be like it is, but it do. It's a quote if you didn't get that. Oh my god, now I'm searching for a good decal that will fit the style. It had to fulfill two criteria. Well, three. First, color. Second, seamlessness. And third, quality. As you can see, I had to go through a lot of them. Later on, I still stuck to the previous one I used in the entryway and the kitchen. I think I used that one all over the whole build. I could have used the material bloxburg provides us, but I put the flooring down and then looked at the final result of the living room, and when I saw it, I knew that it will probably be the spot where I will take the thumbnail. I'm not saying that the other rooms are badly looking, the living room looks special. I think the green color made it special, as well as the couch. The next room I worked on was the laundry room, which was pretty easy to make as it was a small room. The only thing I had to do was to do some custom counters and decorate them with towels, soaps, detergents, and bins. Just a fun fact that I think is true, I used a candle in every single room. You are welcome. It was a much needed information. My mom just walked into the room and I showed her the living room and she was like, wow. No, firstly, I showed her the bedroom and then the living room, and then she saw the laundry room and she was like, wow, I would like to have that. Again, thank you, mom, even though I know you won't watch this. I should have a list of rooms which should be included in an apartment because, for example, we don't have a laundry room. And sometimes I forget about some rooms. I don't think I forgot about something this time though, which I'm glad for. I didn't make the same custom ceiling like I used in the previous rooms. It's because of the tall cabinet, as it would look weird and uncentered. Great, and now there's a helicopter flying. The next room I moved to was the bedroom. I built all of these rooms in one day. My back and my neck hurt so much from that. I wished I could do something else rather than sitting behind a computer all day. Anyway, for the bedroom, I decided to take the risky way and experiment. I added a lot of plants, like the person who lives there or would live there loves plants. Like there are a bunch of them hanging above the bed. You'll see that in a minute probably. Like I said earlier, I used the handles again. Honestly, if I think about it, I haven't done much copying and pasting in this video. This build. I copied and pasted the drawers a few times, but I meant that usually the last room I make in the builds are the easiest to make. I use the furniture from the previous rooms simply because I want to get it done as fast as possible. I just looked at the list of to-do things in Bloxburg I should record. I have it in the reminders app and there are like 10. I don't know if I'll ever finish the list, but most of the ideas are from the comments, so let's just hope I will do them sometimes. Oh my god, I want to sneeze. You see the amount of plants there? God, this voiceover takes forever. I'm doing this the whole morning and it's now 1 p.m. and I wanna publish it at 3 p.m. So I don't know if I'll make it in time. Man, um, I think like 1 or 2 years ago, I was at my grandfather's place. I don't even want to call him my grandfather because my grandfather and grandmother are divorced. We didn't see our grandfather for a long time because he found a woman. They divorced a long time ago, by the way, a long time before I was born. We've been there a few times already, and for some reason, I think I told her once that I liked the schnitzel she prepared, but I didn't realize it was just a oven-ready meal. So from that moment, she made it every time we visited their place, and I don't know, they are still making them to this day. I know it may sound random, but it is random. I just wanted to mention that I liked their house. Like, their house was okay looking. I took a few pictures of it. I wanted to build it in Bloxburg. I told them like, yeah, I built in Bloxburg and stuff. I never did it. I I took pictures of every single room, but I think they already forgot that I promised them that I will build it someday. No, because that house It was just normally looking house. The exterior looked normal, but the one thing I liked was the living room. The problem is that the living room is pretty spacious and there was a lot of free space going on, so I don't think it will look as good in Bloxburg as in real life. Oh wow, now I'm making the bathroom, I just noticed. The only thing is that I noticed it 1 minute late. That's how distracted I get whenever I yap. I know that I almost forgot to put a toilet there. That would be a disaster. Like, nobody could live there. It's weird to think about how I started playing Bloxburg. I know it's another random topic, but I have to fill the video, the silence somehow. I got my first Robux. My father doesn't like the idea of spending money on a game. I think it was 400 Robux, and my friend told me that I should totally pay the 25 Robux for Bloxburg, and I was like, okay, so I bought it. And I think the first thing they said was to sell the house and give the money to them. I remember working in the old Bloxy Burgers. There were only cash registers. Well, I used another person, so I had two registers at once. Yeah, so that was the first job where I got level 50, and I didn't want to move to delivery person because I already had level 50 in the Bloxy Burgers. So I worked for them and gave them most of my money, but some I spent on my house, which was all over the whole plot without the game pass. So a boxy, I don't know, beige with red roof house. I remember I furnished just the garage and the kitchen, and I think the kitchen, the room was like 10 times 20 tiles big. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was so big, I don't know what I wanted to do with it. There was not just the kitchen, there was also a desk with a computer and a dining table, and I think a couch with a TV. We are in a city, sir. This is not a highway. I remember deleting and making new houses over and over again, and at the time I had money between 30k and 200k or something like that. I just didn't want to go lower than that. I won't post this video at 3 p.m. It will be like 4 p.m. It's crazy to think about how much I evolved. Like, this is crazy. I'm watching a realistically looking bathroom, and before I wouldn't be able to do this if there wasn't the friend that was lazy to work and wanted me to work for them. I don't know, what would I do? Would I even be building realistic? Would I be even playing Bloxburg? Nobody knows. And we are finished. I just made a few not a few buildings, I made a whole town, and I spent like extra 2 hours building it. Yeah. So this is the tour of the realistic apartment interior I built today. I showed you a bit of the town, but most of the buildings are walls, so I don't think it's necessary to show them. If I could, I would live here. Just imagine eating breakfast right here in this seat. Like, that would be so cool. Now we are moving to the bedroom. There are a lot of plants. And the bed, I don't know, the bed reminds me of the TikTok videos from 2020. What bedroom would you choose to sleep in? This is the living room. I love this. I would like to have a coffee here and look out of the window. Laundry room, simple, messy but clean at the same time. And the last room is the bathroom. I'm glad that I went with custom stone paneling, and that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like these, and if you enjoyed the video, I'm Matthew, and I hope I'll see you soon.